Before we begin, take a slow breath. Let your shoulders relax. Let your chest loosen. Let the world outside fade for a moment. Tonight, I want to take you somewhere. Not forward into the future, and not back into the past, but inward, into a place you haven't visited in a very long time. A place where joy once lived in its purest form. A place where wonder wasn't a luxury. A place where everything felt possible. Your inner child remembers this place, even if you don't. And on Christmas, when the world grows softer and the night grows quiet, that memory becomes easier to reach. This episode is an invitation to return to that memory. Slowly, gently, honestly. Because joy is not something you have to chase. Joy is something you can return to. Your inner child knows the way. The Christmas doorway. Christmas is emotional for a reason. For some people, it brings warmth and nostalgia. For others, it brings heaviness, loneliness, or longing. For many, it brings both. That mix of emotions isn't a sign that something is wrong with you. It's a sign that something deep inside you is trying to get your attention. The holidays are one of the few times the outer world slows down enough for the inner world to speak. Lights glow softly. People gather. Old songs play. Memories rise. The pace of life gently loosens. And in the softness of those moments, your inner child wakes up. Not the child you pretended to be. Not the child who learned to be strong too soon. Not the child who hid hurt behind a quiet smile. But the real child. The one who once knew joy without guilt. The one who once loved without fear. The one who once hoped without hesitation. This child remembers joy not as an achievement, but as a way of being. And tonight, that child wants to remind you who you really are. Why this topic matters more than you realize. Adults often think joy has to be earned. They think peace has to be worked for. They think happiness requires proof. You finish the to-do list. You solve the problem. You overcome the moment. You cross the goal line. And then maybe, you allow yourself a glimpse of joy. But that's not how joy works. Not true joy. True joy is something you felt long before you earned anything. Before you knew what goals were. Before you cared about outcomes. Before you became who the world told you to be. You felt joy freely, naturally, instinctively. A child finds joy in small things. A warm blanket. Twinkle lights. A piece of music. The smell of something baking. A story told gently. A snowflake landing on their mitten. They don't judge joy. They don't question whether they deserve it. They don't need a reason to feel good. Your inner child remembers this. And on Christmas, the world becomes just quiet enough for you to feel the echo of that memory. Tonight's episode will help you follow that echo. Where joy went, and why it's not gone forever. Somewhere along the way, the world taught you that joy was optional. Maybe you learned it when you had to grow up too quickly. Maybe you learned it when your home wasn't emotionally safe. Maybe you learned it when perfection replaced play. Maybe you learned it when fear replaced wonder. Maybe you learned it when responsibility replaced innocence. When life demanded strength, joy became a luxury. You didn't lose your joy. You locked it away to survive. Your inner child kept it safe for you. They held on to the pieces of joy you could not carry. And now, on this Christmas night, they are ready to give it back to you. Not all at once. Not dramatically. But gently. Like offering a small hand into your own. A simple memory to begin with. Close your eyes for a moment. Think of a joyful memory from childhood. Not a perfect one. Not a movie scene moment. Not the kind of memory that looks flawless. Just something honest. Maybe it was a moment when you felt held. Or safe. Or seen. Or simply okay. Maybe it was watching the lights on a tree. Maybe it was listening to music. Maybe it was unwrapping something you weren't expecting. Maybe it was sitting with someone you loved. Maybe it was just a feeling. A small, fleeting moment when joy rose naturally in your body. Let that memory surface gently. Do you feel how your chest softens when you touch that memory? Do you feel the warmth rising quietly in your heart? Do you notice how the noise in your mind quiets down? Joy is not gone. It is stored inside you. You just forgot where to look. This episode will help you remember. A message your inner child wants you to hear. If your inner child could speak right now, they might say something like this. I'm still here. I didn't go anywhere. You grew up, but I stayed. I kept your joy safe. I kept your wonder alive. I kept your softness hidden so it wouldn't be hurt. Your inner child is not stuck in the past. They are living inside you, waiting to be acknowledged. And Christmas, with its softness, its nostalgia, its quiet, and its glow, is the perfect time to reconnect with them. This episode is not about reliving childhood. It's about reclaiming what childhood gave you before life got complicated. Joy, wonder, hope, belief, softness, presence. These weren't childish. They were human. And they still belong to you. You don't need a perfect holiday to feel something real. You may not have had magical Christmases growing up. You may not feel the holiday warmth other people describe. You may have spent Christmases feeling lonely, confused, unseen, or overwhelmed. But joy does not require a perfect past. You don't need a cinematic childhood to reconnect with your inner child. You don't need a perfect family. You don't need a beautiful story behind you. You only need this moment, this breath, this night, this quiet, this willingness to soften, this gentle opening of your heart. Joy is not in the past. Joy is within you. It always was. This episode will help you find the thread back to it. Before we move into part 2, a gentle preparation. Part 1 is the doorway. Part 2 is the walk into the room where joy lives. In the next part, you'll sit with your inner child. Not in sadness, not in fear, but in remembrance. You'll hear what joy meant to them. You'll understand why joy drifted from your life. And you'll learn how to invite joy back into your present reality. Before we continue, take one slow breath. Let your heart soften. Let your mind settle. Let your body relax. You are not remembering your past. You are reconnecting with a part of you that still believes in joy. Part 2. Sitting with the child who still remembers joy. Settle into your seat. Let your breath come slowly and naturally. Let your chest soften. Let this moment feel like a pause you've needed for a long time. Because now, we're entering the room where your inner child has been waiting. Not waiting for perfection. Not waiting for explanations. Not waiting for you to be someone different. Just waiting for you. Tonight, you meet the part of yourself who still remembers joy more clearly than you do. The part who hasn't forgotten what it means to feel alive. The child in the room. Imagine stepping into a warm, softly lit room. There's a small, child-sized chair in the corner. A blanket draped over the back. A glow from Christmas lights reflected in their eyes. There they are. Your younger self. Not a blurred figure. Not a distant memory. But a presence. You notice how they look at you. Not with fear. Not with shame. But with a mixture of curiosity and hope. This child remembers joy. And they remember that once upon a time, you felt it too. For a long moment, neither of you speaks. Then with a quiet breath, the child gestures for you to sit beside them. This is the beginning. The conversation begins. When you sit down, your inner child shifts slightly, as if unsure how much space they are allowed to take. So you speak first. And your voice is soft. I'm here. You can tell me anything. The child blinks, as if no one has ever said that so gently before. Their small voice comes slowly, almost in whispers. I thought you forgot about me. I thought you didn't need me anymore. Your breath catches. Because you realize, in all your adult striving and surviving, you did forget this part of yourself. Not on purpose, but from necessity. You were busy becoming who the world needed you to be. And in that process, you left behind the part of you that still believed in magic. The child continues. You used to feel joy everywhere. In lights. In stories. In little things. But you got tired. And things got scary. And I didn't know where you went. Their voice breaks just a little. And you feel it. In your chest. In your throat. In the place where your heart still remembers what joy felt like before life demanded so much from you. The moment you remember why joy faded. Sit with this truth for a moment. Joy didn't leave you because you were weak. It didn't leave you because you lost your sparkle. It didn't leave because you grew up. Joy faded because life asked you to carry things you weren't meant to carry alone. Responsibility. Fear. Expectations. Pressure. Loss. Uncertainty. Survival. You didn't lose joy. You buried it to protect yourself. Your inner child felt it happening. They watched the joy get tucked away like a fragile ornament wrapped in too many layers. They didn't blame you. They just missed you. They missed the version of you who was open, bright, unguarded. They missed the sound of your laughter, the color of your imagination, the way you once looked at the world like everything was possible. Tonight is about retrieving that version of you. Not as a fantasy, not as a memory, but as something still alive inside you. Your inner child shows you what joy truly was. The child looks up at you again. Do you remember what joy felt like? They ask softly. You hesitate. It's been so long. Your adult mind wants to give a logical answer, but your inner child wants something more honest. So you let your eyes close for a moment. And slowly, a feeling rises. Not a movie scene. Not a dramatic memory. Just a quiet sensation. A memory of ease. A moment you didn't have to earn. A breath that didn't feel heavy. A softness that felt natural. A small spark in your chest. Quiet but real. Your child watches your face and whispers. That's it. That feeling. You still have it. It never left. You open your eyes. And for the first time in a long time, you believe them. Understanding joy through the child's eyes. Your inner child begins explaining joy the way only a child can. Joy wasn't big. It wasn't loud. It wasn't perfect. It was little things. Warm light on the wall. Your favorite blanket. Watching snow fall. Holding someone's hand. Laughing without thinking. Imagining something beautiful. Looking forward to something small. Joy was everywhere. Then the child leans in a little and adds. And it can be again. You don't have to be different. You just have to remember. They're right. Joy doesn't come from accomplishment. Joy doesn't come from having a flawless life. Joy doesn't come from control. Joy comes from presence. From softness. From noticing. From allowing. From remembering what you once felt effortlessly. Christmas reminds your inner child of this truth because the season is full of small joys. Lights that glow softly. Music that warms the heart. Snow falling gently. Good memories. Warm moments. Quiet hope. Small comforts. These aren't decorations. They're reminders. The child shares a Christmas memory with you. Your inner child shifts in their seat. I want to show you something, they say. A memory begins to form around you. Not necessarily a perfect Christmas, but a moment when joy felt simple. Maybe it was the sound of wrapping paper. Maybe it was watching lights twinkle. Maybe it was sitting on the floor beside someone you trusted. Maybe it was a moment of laughter. Maybe it was the feeling of being held. Maybe it was the smell of food. Maybe it was just peace. A rare moment when your world felt safe enough to relax. The child takes your hand. This, they say. This is what joy felt like. Not big. Not perfect. Just safe. Just enough. Your heart tightens. Because in that moment, you realize joy has never been about achievement. Joy has always been about safety. And your inner child was the last version of you who truly felt that consistently. Now, sitting beside them, you feel it again. The child asks for one thing. Your inner child looks at you quietly. Please don't leave joy behind again. You swallow. Because you know you did. Not intentionally. Not carelessly. But because life demanded survival. Yet now, sitting in this imagined room on a Christmas night, you feel something you haven't felt in a long time. Possibility. Your inner child squeezes your hand gently. You don't have to feel joy every day, they say. I just want you to stop running from it. I want you to let small joy come back. A little at a time. They look down. Then up. Then whisper. I want you to remember me. The words land softly. Deep in the part of your heart that still remembers the sound of your own laughter. Tonight, you realize your inner child doesn't want you to go back in time. They want you to bring pieces of them forward. Into your adult life. Into your holiday season. Into the new year that's coming. Into every place where joy is still possible. Before we move into part 3, this part of the episode was about reconnecting with your inner child. Hearing their voice. Feeling their memories. Touching the essence of joy you once knew. Part 3 will take you deeper. You and your inner child will walk forward together, and you will learn how to carry this joy into your future. Joy that is gentle. Joy that is sustainable. Joy that fits your adult life without forcing anything. Joy that keeps your inner child close. Not as a memory, but as a companion. Part 3. Bringing joy back into your life, a new conversation with yourself. The room feels even softer now. Your inner child is still sitting beside you, their hand in yours, the glow of Christmas lights reflecting gently across the space between you. This moment isn't about nostalgia anymore. It isn't about revisiting the past. It isn't even about rebuilding old memories. This moment is about return. Return to yourself. Return to the part of you who still believes joy is possible. Return to the part of you who never stopped hoping you would come back for them. Because joy is not a destination. It is a relationship. A relationship with yourself. And tonight, we begin to rebuild that relationship. Joy is a muscle you can strengthen. Your inner child tilts their head and looks at you with curiosity. Do you know why I wanted to talk to you? They ask. You shake your head. Quietly. They smile softly. Because you forgot how to feel joy. Not because you were wrong. Not because you were broken. But because you were surviving. The words land gently. Survival pushes joy aside. Responsibility pulls you away from wonder. Fear hardens your softness. Life teaches you to be careful, not open. But the child continues. Joy is still here. It didn't disappear. You just stopped practicing it. Joy is not an emotion. It is a practice. A way of returning to yourself. A small daily choice to notice what feels warm, safe, or peaceful. And the inner child is ready to teach you how. A new kind of Christmas promise. Your inner child stands from their small chair and takes a step closer. I want you to make a promise, they say. Not a big one. Not a heavy one. Just one that feels honest. You breathe deeply. They continue. Promise me that you won't wait for perfect moments to feel joy. Promise me you won't postpone feeling good until you've earned it. Promise me you'll let joy in a little at a time. They reach for your hand again. Promise me you'll let me stay with you. Your heart softens, not in a way that feels dramatic, but in a way that feels like truth. Because you know you've lived years, maybe decades, believing that joy was something you'd feel once life stopped hurting. Once responsibilities lightened. Once circumstances became easier. But joy wasn't waiting for your life to change. It was waiting for you to remember. Carrying joy into the new year. The holidays eventually fade. Decorations get stored away. And life settles back into its familiar pace. But your inner child looks up at you now with the determination of someone who has found their voice again. I don't want you to leave me here when December ends, they say. Take me with you. Into January. Into the mornings when you feel tired. Into the nights when you feel lonely. Into the moments when you forget who you are. Into the places where joy feels hard to reach. Joy isn't meant to be seasonal. It's meant to be carried. Here is how your inner child wants you to carry it into the new year. 1. Start noticing what feels warm. Joy doesn't always come as happiness. Often, joy begins as warmth. A soft blanket. A peaceful morning. A cup of something warm. A quiet moment alone. A memory that makes your heart breathe differently. Your inner child whispers, that's joy. That's where it begins. You don't have to force it. You only have to notice it. The more you notice warmth, the more warmth becomes allowable. 2. Let yourself enjoy small things without apology. Adults apologize for their joy. Children don't. Your inner child remembers the freedom of liking what you like. Without embarrassment, without explanation, without shame. They look up at you now. Please stop making your joy reasonable or productive. Just let it be. You are allowed to enjoy small things. Tiny things. Simple things. You're allowed to smile at something that makes no sense to anyone else. Joy becomes real when you stop shrinking it. 3. Make space for moments of rest. Your inner child speaks softly here. You can't feel joy when you're running. Children find joy because they rest naturally. Adults lose joy because they run endlessly. Rest creates room for joy to enter. Not collapse. Not burnout. Not emotional shutdown. real rest, breathing, sitting, pausing, being human. You don't need long vacations. You need moments of stillness. A few minutes a day where you say, I don't need to be anything for anyone right now. Your inner child feels safe in those moments. 4. Let yourself be tender without shame. You cannot feel joy if you refuse to feel anything. Your inner child looks at you with knowing eyes. You shut down sadness. You shut down fear. You shut down longing. And when you shut those down, joy gets shut down too. Joy and sadness come from the same openness. When you let yourself feel one, you make space for the other. Tenderness is not weakness. It is emotional permission. And emotional permission is the doorway to joy. 5. Protect your light the way you were not protected. Your inner child grows serious now. When I was younger, your joy wasn't always protected. Sometimes it was ignored. Sometimes it was punished. Sometimes it was misunderstood. Sometimes it was taken away. They look into your eyes. But you can protect me now. Protecting joy means saying no when something drains you. Walking away from what hurts your spirit. Refusing to shrink yourself to fit someone else's comfort. Choosing relationships that feel safe. Choosing environments that feel peaceful. Choosing yourself without apology. Your inner child doesn't want perfection. They want protection. And only you can give that now. The child's voice becomes soft again. I'm not here to bring back the past. I'm here to help you feel alive again. They place a small hand over your heart. Joy is not gone. It's just waiting for you to return. You close your eyes. Your breath deepens. And in that moment you feel something shift. A small spark. A quiet warmth. A familiar softness. Joy. Not the overwhelming cinematic kind. The quiet kind. Joy that asks nothing of you. Joy that belongs to you. Joy that has always been yours. If this episode touched something inside you, if it helped you reconnect with your inner child, if it reminded you that joy is still possible, if it softened something in your heart, I want to support your journey even further. I created a free holiday mini ebook to help you deepen this connection. Download your free guide, Coming Home for the Holidays: A Gentle Inner Child Awakening. It will help you explore understanding your holiday emotions, returning to childhood joy and wonder, creating inner peace through softness, soothing overwhelm, loneliness, or nostalgia, bringing emotional warmth into the new year. You'll find the link in the description. And if you want to go even deeper, my full holiday book, Unwrapping Myself, a holiday journey of coming home to wonder and the inner child, is waiting for you. It expands everything we explored today, with gentle stories, reflections, and emotional healing practices, to guide you home to yourself. If this episode warms something in your heart, please consider supporting the channel in a gentle way. Subscribe for more healing audios like this episode so it can reach someone who needs it. Share it with someone whose inner child might need a little tenderness this season. Your presence here matters. Your healing matters. Your joy matters. Thank you for spending this time with your younger self. Thank you for returning to the parts of you that never stopped hoping. Thank you for letting joy back in. Whenever you're ready, I'll meet you in the next episode.